Hello friends. So we are an essay, sorry, it is written wrong here. Yes. So an essay yes, essay of dramatic poesy. This is the 6th lecture by John Dryden. Lecture is by me and this essay is by John Dryden, and then Neander's concluding observations. So Neander is working as or functioning as a kind of what we say moderator. So he concludes. We have seen that there is a kind of symposium or a seminar, if you want to call it now, where 3 people are presenting papers. First we saw Critus, he is praising the ancients. Second we saw Lycidius, he is praising the French and faults of the English as the introduction, and then he praises the French. And then we have got Eugenius praising the moderns, and now we have seen now we have got the last man, Neander, that is Dryden himself. All these 3 persons are Dryden himself, but as you can see, he wants to present different points of view. So that you cannot say, no? But as I already told you right in the beginning, it's a kind of monoact. Yes. Because these are the views of Dryden himself. Yeah. So here Dryden is now acting as a moderator, and he concludes. I got a half a dozen plus or some 11, 12, 13 points. So he makes his observations, and then he gives a kind of see the view of, he takes all the 3 views, that's the thing. So he considers all the 3 views. And then he answers one by one, gives answers. Very logical, and also, as I have already in the beginning told you, this is one of the brilliant prose item, you can say, as a prose work, or what else will be called, brilliant essay, one of the brilliant essays written in modern English. Understood? So let's see what are his views. He says neither their virtues. He begins like this: neither their virtues nor our faults are considerable enough to place them above us. Them means here immediately the them refers to this French, see that? But you can also include ancients in this. So he says neither their virtues nor our faults are considerable enough to place them above us. And then he gives examples, see that? And first he says that he compares the humors of our comedies and the characters of our serious plays. So that is the first point. Compare, make a comparison, he says, compare the humors of our comedies and the serious characters of our characters are not serious. Characters of our serious plays, then you will see that we are much better. See, they are much better, and their characters are like statues. That's the point. Their characters are like statues. There's no life. The characters of the French drama, they are like statues. There is no life. There is no soul. Listen to that. The life and soul of a character, there is no life in it. You compare Shakespeare's character. Any one of them you take. The comic characters or serious characters, anyone. Full of life and variety and vivacious characters. But he says, these are like statues. Who? That's the key point here. The point number 1, that is advanced against this French people, French drama, French theatre, French stage. He says that their characters are like statues. There is no life. He said there is no imitation of soul. There is no passion. None of these things. It's not lively, not vivacious. So you see, that is the point number one. Remember, it's easy. So the key point here is their characters are like statues. Okay. Then second point. Alright, you have noted this down. The characters of, compare our characters, serious plays, characters of serious plays or comedies, you will find that there is full of life and they are life and soul and vivacious there. But those of the French, they are statues. What is the fun of? What do you think of a statue? Statue is perfect. It is delineated in the most perfect way. But what if there is no light? Then there is no point, isn't it? Second point is, there is little humor. Second, little humor, you see. There is little humor. That is the second bit. That is it then, you compare Fletcher, compare Shakespeare, compare Fletcher and Ben Jonson. You will find that the humor, it's very lively. And the French, Corneille and Molière, both of them, they have very often imitated the quick turns and graces of our comedy. Their humor is worn, is dull. Their novels, their plots are drawn from Spanish novels. They don't have, they are not even original. So the plots are drawn from Spanish novels. Their humor is shown, and if you compare the humor of Fletcher, Ben Jonson and Shakespeare, you will find this is comparatively dull. There's no variety. Ben Jonson, Alchemist, Bethlehem Fair, the Silent Woman. You just go through that, then you will find that he says, go through that, me also, you also. Dryden says, go through that, you will find, compare the place of the French stage, which is based on Spanish novels. You say the humor is swan, S-W-O-N, he says. Understand? And then third is, says, space therefore, third is a tragicomedy. Tragic comedy. So, this is the French, they said, according to the Lycidius, the English tragicomedy is ridiculous. This is it's not so. The French, they also have tragicomedy. And the English way of mixing passion and mirth is really to be emulated. The English way. There is so the passion and mirth together. But it gives you a kind of relaxation. Understand? With the hovering in tragicomedies, the mixing of passion and also mirth, it gives relaxation, it refreshes you. But that is not the case with the French. The French, as he has already said, it is dull and there is no life even in their comedies. Ours is refreshing. And then a fourth point he says, it's about plots. That is, plots and underplots. One of the criticism, plots and the underplots. One of the criticisms advanced against the English stage is this. You have got plots and underplots. And there is a crowd, a mob on the stage. Characters don't know each other. This has Lycidius, you remember that. But here is this gives variety. It gives variety in characterization, variety in story. What they have is only one, like a single-minded person. See, they have only one single plot. And all the characters are running after that. Just as when you play football, all the players are running after that. The A team and B team, whoever it is. See that? So, in this case, it is not like that. You have got variety. You can have see different characters in different way. And there is in French drama there is only one design, but we have got two, sometimes three designs. So it provides copiousness. Copious. We have increased. We have invented. According to these inverted commas, we have invented, increased, and perfected. These are the words. We have invented this subplot business. If we have invented, then we have increased and we have perfected. These are the three words. No? Like we know that famous Veni Vidi Vinci. See? No? I came, I saw, I conquered. So like this, you can say invented, English and perfected. What? A perfected, a pleasant way of writing for the stage. So this is a pleasant way of writing for the stage. Yeah. And he says in nature also, your contrary motions have complementary disease. Two motions you can have. See the earth, it revolves itself and at the same time it moves around the sun. So contrary motions are perfectly harmonized in nature. Exactly like that, if you have got 1, 2, 3 or any number of plots, the dramatist has got the rein in his hands, he can easily control that. Unity. The unity of action, that's the most important. One supports the other. The other case, just only one and everybody is looking at that. All the characters running after that. All the time the audience, so the spectator, they are looking at that. But at times, variety is the spice of life, Dryden himself has said. Variety is the spice of life. Isn't it? So, sorry, Dryden did not say that. Dryden said about Joseph's characters. What did he say? Here is God's plenty. So that is about the prologue he said. So that's the difference. Variety is, of course, is the spice of life. And so English has got a very perfect way of writing for the stage, he says. Understand? So for I confess, he says. So that is a statement, that is a quote. For I confess, what? Their verses to me, the coldest I have ever heard. So, my confession is this. For I confess their verses to me, I will write it here for you to, you can quote in your examinations, no? I mean papers. I confess their verses are the coldest. Their verses are the coldest, he says. Coldest I have ever read. Coldest I have ever read. So that's the thing. Listen. Begin with, I have already given a quotation. What is that? Neither their virtues nor our faults are considerable enough to place them above us. I will write that also once again, so you can see that it covers the whole thing, the whole argument. Is neither, you can take this down and this also. This also a quotation from the essay. Neither their virtues nor our faults are considerable enough to place them above us. So two quotations already. And then another one, you can see this, invented, increased and perfected. Invented, increased and perfected, a more pleasant way of writing for the stage. A more pleasant way of writing for the stage. So already you have 2-3 quotations. You have to embellish your answers with quotation, strengthen it with quotations. Then what happens? Your answer will be marked say 80%, 90%, and so on. So that's why in that Bacon says no. Studies are for delight, for ornament, and for ability. So for ornament, that's the thing. This kind of ornament that you are adding to your essay when you are embellishing your essay when you are or your answers when you are quoting from the text. So we have 3 quotations here. Opening with this, neither their virtues nor our faults are considerable enough to place them above us. Then we said about underplots. This is a very key point. The underplot. See the first point. I will write it here once again. The first point is the beauty of their place and their characters are like that of a statue. That's the thing. Statue, no life. Their characters are like statues, the beauty of statues, no life. Secondly, there is no humor. Compare this, and then you find tragic comedy, our way of mixing, that is refreshing. Then plots and underplots. You have got we have invented, increased and perfected a more pleasant way of writing for the stage. This is the opening, and now here we have seen, I confess their verses are the coldest I have ever read. There is no life in it. Understand? So that is, these are now 4 points we have already seen. Now we are moving towards the 5th point, and the 5th point is about, always there is a comparison here. Dryden makes a comparison here, that's about Fletcher, then you have got Shakespeare and Ben Jonson. So he said the 5th point is, their speeches are very long. Long speeches. Understand? Soliloquies are very long. Minimum is 100 lines. And he says it is a trouble for the actor as well as for the spectator, the audience. For long 100 lines you have to listen like this. You will get bored. That's because he says Cardinal Richelieu is a churchman. It's a serious man. No? Churchman is a serious person. So it was his direction that speeches should be long. These people, there are some mic eaters now. You have seen among speakers, mic eating. Once they get the mic, then they will not stop talking. They go on talking and bore everybody in the audience. And half of the audience will die, but still they will not stop. So it is like this. So it is such a dull thing. Long speeches. See? So there is, he says it is. And then he says in a long speech, and then he says, there is another quotation that is, grief and passion are like floods. He says, grief, another quotation, simple. Grief and passion, because long speeches cannot hold grief and passion. Grief and passion like floods raised in little brooks. Passion are like floods raised in little brooks. In little brooks, by a sudden rain. By a sudden rain. So please note this also. Another quotation for you, useful quotation. It says long speeches. What happens? You forget halfway through what is going on there. Because according to the modern studies on listening capacity, the maximum listening capacity of a person is 20 minutes. Maximum. That's why now when students halfway through the class they go to sleep. Or they start looking around here like this. Unless and otherwise the teacher keeps that interest. Say by jokes, by humor, by acting and by mimicry and all that. So the teacher should be a dancer, an actor, a mimicry artist and whatnot. I don't know. Otherwise students will go. So you have to refresh them. Every 10 minutes, 15 minutes you have to refresh them by some anecdote or something that is related to what you are going to teach. Understand that? It's very important. Humor is very important. Without humor, how can you teach? It's impossible. So, grief and passion are like floods raised in little brooks by sudden floods. Sorry, by sudden rain. Sudden rain. Understand? That is it. So, suppose you go on. If it is a flood like the last flood in Kerala, see what would happen? Many will die. So, long speeches can kill people. Long speeches are, there is possibility that you can murder people with the speeches. That's what these people say. Understand? Yes. So this is the 5th point. I suppose you are following one by one. And 6th point is, he says, the number of characters. So number of characters when you have got plot and plot, now that is connected with this number of characters. Number of characters very few in French plays, but we have got a crowd. We have got variety, copious. Understand? Copiousness and variety you find. Otherwise, you have got 2 or 3 characters. They do everything. How? You get bored by looking at them. Understand that? See, even if you see if you see the Maid's Tragedy, Ben Jonson's, and then you have got the Alchemist and so on, you will find how the characters, they represent different humors and so on. Understand? Yes. And number 7 is about relations. Relation means not relationship but narration. So that is one of the points that by which Lycidius attacked the English now. So narration says everything, showing what is called repulsive scenes on the stage. He said there are certain scenes you can present on the stage. Of course, as Aristotle says, you can use unnecessary things, that is things that will cause a kind of revulsion. Yes. That should not be present, I agree. But if you can present it in a nice way, for example, the duels in Hamlet, nobody is repulsed by that, isn't it? No, you don't have to develop at the same time there is narration. The ghost of Hamlet's father narrates the story, how he was murdered, isn't it? How he was trapped and murdered. He narrates it. There is narration. There is also at the same time duels, the duel between Laertes and Hamlet, a death of Hamlet, how soft it is. And the other day I already quoted those lines, that is what at the time of his death, Hamlet says, there are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than that are dreamt of in your philosophy. It's a soothing way of, Then another thing you can see, soft passion, that is. So other thing you can see, Ophelia's death is narrated. The dramatist did not show Ophelia jumping into a river and committing suicide. No, nothing else. Just narrated. So narration is, of course, in the English also you find in our stage also, the English stage also you will find. So it is what is judiciously mixed. You cannot narrate at all, no such thing. You can narrate certain things, you can narrate certain things, you can present. But when you present, what you have to do is you should show restrictions, so to say, or limits. See, it should not hurt the feelings of other people. See that. Suppose you find somebody committing suicide, come to the stage and make a declamation, take a thread or something like that, see, or a rope, then ties it to the ceiling and then falls down. Things who wants to see. It's not dramatic context or dramatic effect. If it is, suppose, even if it is a fight or a duel or a quarrel or a battle or dying and so on, Hamlet dying on the stage. It is not narrated on the stage. If death of Hamlet is narrated, it would have become a very flat play. See, that should be present. So there should be dramatic. The dramatic action should anything that is presented on the stage should have a dramatic relevance. Then, of course, it can be accepted. That is what it is. Listen. Yes, relation. And now 8 is about unities. He says unities. For one thing, we must understand that Aristotle said about only one unity. The other thing is cooked up by the French people. And so what happened is, they were so meticulously following that, scrupulously following. So they got into many absurdities. For example, just for the sake of unity of plays, a play began in the bedchamber of a king. Then how can you show romantic scenes in the same scene? You cannot. Same place. It's absurd. So, because of this strict adherence of the unities of place and time, first of all, they had to hurry up. They had to hurry up through the stage. Secondly, as we have already seen, sometimes they get into some difficulties and some absurdities. That's because they have the imagination. On the Winter's Tale we have already seen. Shakespeare, years passed by, but still you just forget about all those things. Unnecessary. You think that it is happening right now. So that is the power of the dramatist. not strictly according to rules. It's not that it's a Ten Commandment that you should strictly according. See? And don't have any, already we have seen variety of character also because of these unities. Yes. And then about a rhyme. Nine the rhyme and blank verse, isn't it? This is both can be used. Both should be used. Don't strictly say about there should all be rhyming or not rhyming. See, Shakespeare uses 14 lines continuous rhyme, but at the same time blank verse. Ben Jonson also does the same. Fletcher does the same thing. And he compares it to trot and amble of a horse. Trot means amble slowly moving. So rhyme is like a trot, but then blank verse is like a ambling, walking. So, but on the other hand, suppose always it is rhyming, it is done. But always it is walking slow, that's also done. So there will be mixing. Understand? That is what I said. So this mixing, very well done by the English dramatist. Shakespeare is a brilliant example, and then you have got the culture and so on. Understand? And then you have got the rhyme we have already seen, and then regular and irregular plays are unimportant because some plays are regular, some plays are irregular, and some irregular plays are masculine places. So 10th point is regular and irregular plays. Irregular things always regular is like pious people. They are observing all the rules and all the regulations. Regular, but irregular means what? There's some romanticism in that. You can see in the class also irregular persons are more romantic. Romantic means there's something strange in them. And what is romantic means strangeness added to beauty. There has to be some strangeness in everybody. Otherwise what happens is people will measure you. He is like that. See, like that. The regular and irregular play. Regular plays are masculine. Masculine. Understand? And then you have got the 11th point is you have got it says about he speaks about Shakespeare. Whatever you say, Shakespeare says that he says imaginative soul. See, Shakespeare of all moderns, of all ancients, if you present Shakespeare has got the imaginative soul. You can see what is happening, you can feel, see and feel. The imagination is so vivid. There is no such a person, he says, anywhere in either you take ancients or you take moderns. So we are far better as well as Shakespeare and Fletcher. And then you say Beaumont, and 12th point is this, that is, compare Beaumont and this place. Then you will find that Beaumont was the correct judge of place. Correct judge. Here he is imagination. Nobody can beat him, Shakespeare. Here it is correctness. Correctness of place. Correctness. So people used to get judge and correctness. Judge. Correctness and judge. So Ben Jonson used to submit his plays to Beaumont for correction, judging whether it is correct or not. So he was such a scholar. You don't have anyone like that in among the ancients or moderns or in France. So English stage is the best. So therefore he says, then he says, what he says is the concluding remarks is like this. That is, we have got our errors, or our errors are so few and little, he says. Our errors are so few and little. Those things the things that we excel are so considerable. Our errors are so few and little. The things that we excel are so considerable that we ought of right of right is to be placed before, preferred or placed. What is in the opening statement, the same thing he concludes. Our errors are so few and so little, he says. I will write it on the board so that it becomes for you also. Our errors are, shall I clear the board for you? Is it alright? So, I will tell you, the Neander is concluding, moderation. The moderation, he says, the perfection. The French, perfection of the French is like the perfection of a statue. There's some life and so on. Second, little humor. You compare Ben Jonson, you compare Fletcher, you will find there is very little humor in French plays and the French stage. You think of, read Alchemist, The Silent Woman, and also Bartholomew Fair. Then tragic comedy. They also have tragic comedy, we also have, but ours is refreshing. And plots and underplots, variety, yes. And then you have got long speed, dull, makes you dull. And number of characters, plot and underplot. So we have got number of characters is more than the number of, so there is variety in characters. Relation or narration, that means certain things have to be narrated. We can see Shakespeare. Shakespeare we have already seen, and Ben Jonson. Unities. If you scrupulously observe unities, you become dull. See that? There's nothing. And sometimes you get into absurdities. Like bedchamber, you start the play in the bedchamber of a king, many things you cannot represent there. Because bedchamber is supposed to be a very closed place. It's a cloister service, isn't it? Regular and irregular place. Irregular places. Irregular means not observing rules. See that? And then rhyme and blank verse. Rhyme and blank verse is like trot and amble of a horse. And Shakespeare, the most imaginative sort. And Beaumont, the correct judge of plays. Understand? And therefore, I hope it is clear. Therefore, he concludes. The conclusion is almost like the opening, isn't it? Neither our faults, neither their virtues nor our faults, and so on. We have already taken this down now. Almost like that, he also concludes. So, Dryden says that our errors are so few and little. I will write it on the board as a conclusion. You can also quote it. Our errors are so few and little. Simple. Our errors are so few and little. And those things in which we excel. Those things in which we excel. Excel that we ought of right to be, we ought of right, we ought of right is to be, preferred. Is to be preferred before them. So this is the last quotation. So our errors are so few and little, and those things in which we excel, that is enough. Those things we excel. Those things we excel. Those things we excel are many. Many. We ought of right. We ought we ought of right is to be preferred before them. That's the thing. Understand? We excel, or excellence. So once again, our errors are so few and little, and those things we excel are many. We ought of right is to be. It means we ought of right is to be means it is our right. That's the thing. To be preferred before them. And them could be French, ancients. So thus the arguments and preferences. One cited by Critus for ancients, then second cited by for French, Lycidas, and the third cited by Eugenides moderns, and now we have got the concluding remarks and observations in which he says, whatever you say, our faults are so few and little. Same thing is neither their virtues nor our faults are considerable enough. That's what it is. Almost the same thing. Same in a different, using different words he says, our faults, our errors are so few and little. Those things we excel are many. We ought of right is to be preferred before them. I hope that you have followed. And that, but this is not a substitute for the reading of the original essay. So I always say, you must, solely we are like Moses, showing you the land of Canaan, where honey and milk flow. Honey and milk you can get only from the text. But like Moses, I can show you here, that is the land of Canaan, where you have got honey and milk. Alright, is that clear? So don't forget to read this brilliant piece of prose written by one of the greatest writers of English literature, Annus Mirabilis. So when you read this, it will be a kind of, the reading experience will be a mirabilis experience. A mirabilis means miracle. When you read this, it is to you, you will feel that you are experiencing a miracle. Therefore, I humbly request you, my dear students, you must read the original text. Don't be satisfied with what I have told you so far. I have just given you the contours. This is the sketch. And now we can get into the flesh and blood of it. Alright? Hope that you will do it, and not only that, I hope that you will also subscribe to my channel. That's also important. So till we meet again, bye. Have a nice day.